Guys, we're back.
We are
Movies That Don't
back.
Suck podcast, episode 8.
Yup.
Frank, we're back.
It's been a while.
It's been almost 3
As you can
months.
tell, put on
Yeah.
some weight and some hair. Here.
You got the quarantine beard.
Yeah.
You got the quarantine belly a little bit.
Yeah. The quarantine 15. That's what I got.
That's what you call it? The
That's
quarantine
what I'm
15?
calling it because it's definitely been. It's at least 15 pounds.
Really?
Yeah, easily.
Oh, man. So everyone don't adjust.
On top
you know?
of the fucking hair too.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the beard thing
I got
too.
a hat for a reason right now.
Yeah, so everyone don't adjust your dials. You know, it's not a test. We're officially back.
Yep.
Back in the routine.
Yep.
So
Everyone should have had a lot to watch.
yeah, exactly. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to start off with our quarantine catch up. You've seen the title of the show.
Yeah.
We've all been watching stuff. You know,
Yeah.
Netflix accounts have been getting used.
Yeah.
So we're going to use this time and just go about whatever we want to talk about. Let's just throw it around the room, fast and loose, and we're going to see what we've been watching and just
So start it
throw it
off,
out there.
man. Start it off.
All right. So I think we got to start off with, let's say, Tiger King, pretty much being the biggest show ever.
Tiger King and the Jordan documentary were probably the biggest, shows people watched during the quarantine.
Probably you got to look at it in
Like
terms of-
most popular shows.
Yeah, and then Tiger King had the late March time frame, and then Jordan Doc just
Yeah,
ended
that's what
a
I'm
week or
saying.
two ago.
Tiger King hit right when everything was
perfect
coming in,
timing when everything was going on.
I liked it. I thought it's a little much. It was funny and shit, but
Yeah,
it's
sad.
It got old quick for me.
For you, it kind of wore
Yeah,
down.
it did.
You weren't at the point where you were just like, I gotta watch. I can't get enough of this. I'm gonna watch every
Part of me
episode.
was like, was feeling that way, but the other part of me was like, all right, what else am I gonna find out? I already think the bitch fucking killed her husband.
Carol Baskin.
Yeah, Baskins. I already think she killed her husband.
I think everyone does.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know
so-
anyone who doesn't think.
That's what I'm saying.
Danny,
so,
you think she killed her husband? Do you think she killed her husband?
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Yeah.
I don't know anyone.
Everyone did. So
Yeah.
everyone thinks that. So that's that was my feeling towards it. I was like, it's kind of like it's just some redneck fucking. It was funny. He had like a country diss track. To her and shit.
Those tracks were hilarious.
It's funny.
Those tracks
Yes,
were
it was
funny,
very funny.
man.
But to me, it was like it was hard for me to keep concentrating on it.
Because
to
it
be
does get
honest with you.
overbearing to a point. I agree with you, where it just gets so absurd, and then toward later in the season, the guy sadly shoots himself, and then you're like, oh my god, this is
Yeah.
not even in the realm of funny anymore. This
Yeah.
is just beyond sad. These
Yeah.
tigers are, God knows what is happening to them, and it did have that element of sadness to it. But that guy Joe Exotic is just so
He's
infinitely watchable.
It's
the
is.
memes. It's the
yeah,
memes.
it is. It is. He has Nicolas Cage is apparently doing a show as him.
Yeah, there's been rumors of so
Is
many
that
people.
you think that's gonna really happen? I don't.
Oh,
think so.
I think it's going to.
You think it's gonna happen?
I think it is. Yeah, how could
I
they
think
saw the
I think
demand.
Tiger King was the 15-minute of fame type situation.
Oh, you think it's one of those
Yeah.
crash and burn, jump
Yeah,
and then come
yeah,
down?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so many people. I think isn't Kristen Wiig attached to do a show? There's so many
We'll
people.
see. We'll see because no one's filming shit now, obviously. But
Yeah.
we'll see. Everything got put on. Everything got put on. The
Oh,
back burner,
everything.
which fucking, as fans sucks. But obviously you understand. But it sucks.
Yeah. It's crazy how bad it got because before the outbreak happened and as it was going on when I was doing the shows with Mike, I was like, oh, a few things got delayed. A few things. Oh, this one got delayed. Oh, we don't got to worry about that. And then you just saw it get worse, worse, and worse, and worse.
Shout out to Mike because I did watch him and he was really good.
Mike, shout out to Mike.
Mike was really good.
Mike was awesome. He really held us down during that. Great.
he was good.
We're gonna have him back. We're gonna have him back for
Couldn't
sure.
Come through.
A lot of people were telling me oh, Mike's doing a great job. I want to hit him back.
Yeah, he really was, man.
But yeah, so we saw it. We were talking about it, and it's oh, this is getting worse. This is getting worse. Oh, this is getting. So now, but then we got to the point where while we took our break, that everyone was stopping.
Yeah.
So that's why we've been taking the time to enjoy every little thing. So all right, so we go from Tiger King. Overall, I enjoyed it. I reviewed it. I think I gave it an 8.5 or
It's definitely binge-worthy Netflix material
exactly
type shit, especially during the quarantine.
Perfect definition of binge watch show. Exactly. That's what I said.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So okay, let's move over to the Jordan documentary now. Everyone's been talking about
The
the
best
Last
thing
Dance.
I've seen.
that and I'm not just saying this because it's the new thing, but not only is it the best sports documentary ever, it's probably one of the best documentaries ever.
Yeah.
It's just so comprehensive. And I'm a casual basketball fan. You know me. I'm a bit more of a baseball guy.
I know.
I'm a casual basketball fan. I love my Jordans. I love Jordan Brand. Everyone who's a poser just say they love that stuff. But I have a casual.
I think what this documentary did was just for viewers who are casual fans,
right?
Bring you into the world of Michael Jordan when he was
The biggest
pretty
thing
much
ever.
the best. Yeah, the biggest athlete there ever was, maybe.
Right. Before
And
all
we're
the
talking
young people
about,
watch this before social media.
Yes.
People don't realize there was
Yes.
no phones.
There
Like
was none of that
all the
shit.
20-year-old kids watching this,
There
we're
was none of
dating
that.
ourselves right now.
Yeah.
But the 20-year-old kids who were watching the show,
yeah.
you got to realize like there was barely beepers at the time. Go ask your parents what beepers were.
Yeah,
Everyone
I know.
listening to this, like
It brings you into the mind state of what basketball was back then.
Yeah.
And how if you watch it now, how different it is. People like to compare players from eras, and Jordan even says himself, like he wouldn't compare himself to like Dr. J or Kareem because he didn't play with those guys. He wouldn't compare himself. So people try to compare, like, can the Bulls beat the Golden State Warriors now?
And it's
to
like
me, the Bulls would win.
Well, I agree with that because they always played more of a physical game.
Yeah.
Today's game we know is all about
Yeah.
finesse. They've inherited that European ball.
But to bring it back to the documentary, because we're getting into basketball.
Yeah, I know. You gotta be careful with that.
But it's a mindset, like how he was a fucking killer, dude, and he wanted to win.
That's what I always loved about Jordan.
He wanted to fucking win, dude, and it brings
costs.
you into that mindset. It also touches on like his father, and
which I didn't know. Did you know his father was?
Yeah.
See, I didn't know his father.
And
was
there's always
murdered,
been speculation that it was because of his gambling. That's why he died.
which I think was a horrible. They had no right to accuse him of that. The media really went bad on that one.
Well, yeah.
I didn't know about Steve Kerr's father. I didn't know. I love how they touched on like I said this in my review, every question I had about Jordan, whether it was like, oh, are they going to talk about this game? Are they going to talk about when this thing happened? They covered every.
Yeah.
They didn't run away. They talked about the flu game, which wasn't the flu.
Yeah.
They talked about I like when he came back to Madison Square Garden and he wore the ones.
The ones, yeah.
And his feet were bleeding.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That was
Yeah.
friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I loved that. That was a fascinating story.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
follow.
Yeah.
The double nickel game. A few friends of mine were like asking me like, oh, did they talk about? I'm like, they talk about the double nickel game.
They talked about a story I never heard of. I forget the name of the guy who dropped 37 on him or something.
Oh,
Like Leandric Smith. I forget the guy's name.
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
But
either.
anyways, he made it up in his head that the guy says like, "Good game, Mike." He made it up in his head.
Yes.
And then the next time he played him, he had 36 and a half.
But you notice, Michael, that's one of the genius things. We always knew he was a killer, but we didn't know that he literally makes up things in his head to have to hate you to beat you.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, oh, you think he's like, Karl Malone had a great year. Karl Malone's an excellent player, incredible player. He's like, he's not the MVP. You think he's MVP? Okay.
I'll show you.
He's like, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
He had that attitude. He's like, all right, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, he's such a killer.
Yeah, that's why he's the best basketball player ever.
To me, it's not even like this was. Everyone says, "Oh, this was to get back at LeBron." Like that conversation started to change. I'm like, not for me.
No,
it was always going to be. If I had one game for my life, Michael.
People still say LeBron's the best, but in my opinion, I love LeBron too. I love LeBron, but Michael Jordan's the best basketball player.
It's like
it's not even close.
It's the same way for like the older generation too. I was telling my dad about it. He's been seeing the commercials, and I'm like, Dad, would you ever like consider anyone else? He's like, no. It's Michael. He's like, it's Michael Jordan. He just said to me, he's like, it's Michael Jordan.
Yeah, it's
That's
Michael
it.
Jordan. Yeah.
I'm like, there's really no question. Is there anything else you can really say? Like anyone who has
He's
even
single-handedly
decent
responsible, not single-handedly, but the dream team is responsible for the way NBA is viewed around the world.
International.
There's the reason why
basketball.
we have Dirk Nowitzki, Luka right now.
Right.
All these Manu, all these European players. He's the reason.
Yeah, because
what I
the
mean?
Bulls brought it
Yeah.
overseas.
Yeah.
International.
Kim Jong-un's a fucking fan.
Yeah. Oh, we're Rodman.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
That's crazy.
Yo, I'm glad you mentioned that too. Rodman, like
is the man. That's another thing
He's out of his mind.
He was the man, bro.
But
He's sick
but he just was like, I'm gonna leave. I need a couple days to go chill. What?
Yeah.
Could you imagine that happening today if like someone on the Yankees was
my
like,
God,
I'm gonna
dude.
leave for a few days.
Dude.
There would be chaos.
It would be all over the media.
Right.
Like that never got out.
Nope.
In the media. Imagine that. Yeah. It's insane.
I like how he told
He went to fucking Vegas. He got off the plane with a beer in his hand and got on a fucking motorcycle and just rode.
And was just chilling.
And was just fucking Carmel Electra and all these bitches.
And what did Mike say
coke.
to Phil? He's like, you're gonna get on that plane. You're not gonna see him again in 2 days. You're not gonna see him again.
You're not gonna see him in 2 days.
Like you're not gonna see him. He's gonna be gone.
He had to go get him.
Exactly. Like,
they had to go get him. And then they won.
And they won. Right. That's another great sign of how incredible those teams were. Whenever there was a downturn, whenever there was a problem, whenever there was a drawback, they always rebounded.
That would not happen though in today's day. Just because of social media. Everyone has a phone. They'll see you.
Right.
You'll be found. That's why Danny thinks Jeffrey Epstein's still alive, but he's not.
All right, so let's go over to that one. That's another one. So another more recent
I
Netflix.
just finished watching it a couple days ago.
It's called Jeffrey Epstein, Filthy Rich on Netflix.
I don't know what it's called, but
Yeah.
I just know it as the Epstein documentary.
Yeah, ooh, that was a tough watch. Brutal, really brutal. Like, we know the guy's a monster, but they give. I love how they gave a voice to those women.
As a real piece of garbage.
Yeah,
I mean, not that anyone.
Yeah, not that anyone thought any differently,
That's what
but,
I'm saying, but
I like how
I like how they did that.
I like that they were doing those live interviews where he's being like, just talking to what was he, the FBI? He was interviewing.
Well, that was a deposition.
Thank you. That was they were doing that. I love the depositions because they were telling him what they knew he did,
and he was like, getting pissed.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, are you kidding? You kidding?" I'm like, dude, come on.
I like to assert my 5th, 6th, and 85th Amendment rights, and whatever the fuck he was saying.
I like how they focused on. They gave all the women a voice. And they all had kind of the same story. This guy was a really sick dude.
Going after the girls in fucked up situations, young girls.
Yeah, young girls, emotionally damaged.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into detail, but he always had the same routine where they would come to his house and they talk to his girlfriend. And you saw like the real psychosis of this guy. But still to this day, we really don't know where his money, just because he worked with the guy who owned Victoria's Secret and he had money with him. Like, we really don't know where
his money came from.
Yeah, he didn't.
They said in the documentary he liked to be that mystery guy.
Yeah.
But no, they said that he stole like $14 million.
Yes, but we know that's not enough. Like, the money, that's the thing. The money he has is titan of industry billionaire money. Not like, oh, I stole 14 million. 14 million ain't even paying for that New York and France apartments that were staggering that he had those places.
The New York one was 75 or 77.
Yeah, $77 million.
That's fucking insane.
And then the house in France.
Yeah.
And the island.
And an island. Let's not forget that.
I like how that's another cool thing the documentary did. They were talking to the people who worked on the island. And
that was cool. And
Epstein was lying about, I don't have these people here. They're like, no, I woke up one day and
Clinton was there.
Bill Clinton was here. Whatever.
What really? And we could bring this to movies now. Chris Tucker.
No
one's fucking talking about that.
Yeah, I had heard rumblings
very hush about Chris Tucker,
and I forgot about it.
And I fucking love Chris Tucker.
I love Chris Tucker, man.
But who is he a big fan of? Michael Jackson.
Yeah, he's always supported Michael Jackson too.
We know, we don't know, but we know about Michael Jackson's history.
The funny thing about Clinton, and I don't want to turn this into
Alleged
a political
history.
thing, but is it that Clinton says he never even been there, doesn't know the guy? Like, he
because
completely.
Clinton's a fucking politician.
Yeah, but we know he was on the flight log, so it's like.
That's what I'm saying. He's a fucking politician.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why his homes.
Yeah.
It could be political affiliation shit. You don't know what that could be.
They wouldn't tell you what they found in his house. They're like, oh, we found crazy stuff in his house.
In New York.
They broke in those safes. They're like, we found photos and we found
child porn,
like all the horrible things that like.
That's the speculation of why he was killed, because he had so much information.
Prince William.
Well, Prince William.
That interview was.
Well,
really
that guy was
bad.
a fucking fuckface. He had his arm around the girl in the picture.
He's like, I don't remember.
And I don't remember that picture.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a picture of me, definitely.
Oh yeah,
I don't remember that.
And you realize if they didn't have that photo, he denied that too. He only admits to the photo because he has to.
What the fuck kind of excuse is I don't sweat?
But that night I was sweating.
I don't sweat.
And he's sweating now.
You don't sweat? What are you, a fucking a human? You got AI before everyone? you got Elon Musk's fucking Neuralink before us? What do you mean you don't?
He's got
sweat,
nanomachines.
dude?
He's got nanomachines in his blood.
You don't sweat?
That was.
I don't.
The whole thing was
either.
really brutal. It was rough. Like, you just see like how far this guy went and how much.
Yeah, I mean, and the fucked up thing is it's gonna stop there, because it's not gonna venture off into politicians and shit like that, which is what the fuck we need to happen.
That's true. We need to
we need that really because these politicians are fucked.
Yeah. It's like you start to like, you notice it's that peek behind the curtain of starting to see like what really goes on.
Yeah.
Of what really is going on. And I'll give credit to the documentary too. Like, a lot of times these things are very like squeaky clean, and they just give you like the mainstream narrative of what they want you to know. But they went into it and said, hey, his brother hired a doctor and they wanted to be investigated. He didn't believe that he killed himself. Yeah. So I was like, oh, they're actually going to go, whether you believe it or not, everyone out there, whether you believe it or not.
There's a Heimlich bone, right? That's the
bone.
Hiemate,
yeah. I forgot the name of it. The Heimlich.
Whatever bone it is.
Yeah. It had
the guy said that
multiple
there was
fractures.
3 fractures on that bone, and he said that is not indicative of that fall, of that.
Yeah. That injury.
Death, yes.
Yeah. Because whether you think he killed himself or not, what he's saying is, this is smart, is that it didn't happen the way they're telling you it happened.
Epstein didn't kill himself.
Yeah,
Hashtag. He did not. It's
I-
not even. It's not a question. If you think he killed himself, I got a fucking bridge in Westchester to sell you.
Yeah. Discount?
Yeah, discounted.
All right, so that's a great watch for anyone who's interested in the Epstein story. I would definitely check it out. It's not like the squeaky clean, polished.
No,
mainstream
it's good.
It's good. It's worth checking out. A friend of mine was telling me that she also enjoyed it, so definitely check that out. So next one I want to go to is another documentary. It's on HBO. It's the McDonald's one, McMillions. I really enjoyed that.
I saw one episode of it.
Yeah,
the first episode where they had the guy on the beach with the check or whatever.
Right, showing off how it was a lot. Yeah.
Yes, that's the one I saw that episode, but I know about the scam.
Yeah, it's for anyone who doesn't know, it's a fascinating story of a guy who actually for everyone who remembers back in the day in the 90s, there was the Monopolies game at McDonald's, and it turns out that nothing about that game was
legit.
ever. Yeah, sure, you might win a soda or a cheeseburger or something,
fries.
but people don't know this. They think, oh, just a guy won some money. They're like, no. Every single big winner was all controlled through a web of lies from one guy who, through just absurd, impossible, ridiculous circumstances, had a way to cheat this game.
He just showed up with pieces, right? He just showed up with the pieces.
He had a way to steal them. But
did they ever tell you how?
Yes, they go into it. It's so complicated, and I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but it's so complicated, and there's so many moving parts.
I want you to ruin it for everyone.
Well, it's just he somehow just had a way to get a hold of these pieces. He knew someone at the marketing company because there was a marketing company that made the pieces. McDonald's didn't make. They were just putting the game out there.
Yeah, okay.
So there was just multiple layers of people, and there was a marketing company, and there was different people involved, and he was able to find a way to get these pieces. But then he knew he can't keep winning. So he knew he had to branch out to because first you go to your immediate family, then you go to other people, and it keeps branching outward and outward and outward, and it got to a point where all these people within a decent range of 20, 30 miles are starting to win, and that's how they started to figure out oh, this guy won and this guy won. They're not related, but it's all happening within these general vicinities, and it got really crazy. The FBI almost didn't even want to investigate it until someone tipped them off. There was a tip off from someone in the family that was mad about a personal situation, and they called up the FBI and said, you may want to look into this McDonald's game.
Wasn't the secretary of McDonald's or some shit, or someone at work, the girl that was in the first episode, the girl that was with the FBI agent that they went to the beach.
Oh, she was just involved in just helping figure the case. She was a decoy.
She didn't work for McDonald's?
No, she was someone who was pretending to be work for McDonald's.
Gotcha.
The FBI had to figure out oh, okay, now we're gonna have you smile here, and
gotcha,
you think you're talking to a representative from McDonald's? You're talking to an FBI agent.
Yeah.
It's an insane. I'll tell you, the one thing I didn't like about it is that it was extremely complicated and difficult to follow at times. There's a lot of information and a lot of people, but it's an absolutely incredible story. The fact that this happened is just staggering because these companies.
Does anyone die? Get murdered?
Not that I remember. No, I don't think anyone got murdered. But the lengths that these companies went to make sure this shit was safe, it wasn't their fault. Things just happened that were just out of their hands, and it got really bad. But it was just crazy. Yeah. I would say anyone definitely worth watching.
I don't know. I didn't finish watching it.
Yeah, it's worth it checking out. So, all right. So the next thing that I recently just started, I haven't finished it yet, but everyone's been telling me for so many years, Eric, you got to watch the show. You got to watch the show. Finally started watching The Sopranos.
Oh my God, dude. 20 years later.
Well, I didn't have cable when I was young. I never even had cable till 2002, 2003 when the show was halfway through. So that's my partial excuse.
Yeah, well, no.
But I knew, I was okay, in quarantine.
You've had streaming services for a while now.
And look, that's the thing. The more streaming services you have, the more shit you try to watch. And
Yeah.
So I said to myself, okay, I'm going to embark. I started watching one movie here, one movie there. I'm going to start a long project. Finally started watching The Sopranos.
Okay, so where people who... I love The Sopranos.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite show, but it is. It's a top.
Is it your all-time favorite show, Danny?
It's a top show for me, all time.
Is it your all-time? Where do you? One of the greats.
It is.
Okay, so everyone will say
universally
if it's not their favorite, it's always one of the greats.
It's universally known and respected as one of the top well-written shows in TV. Right?
I agree with that.
Where do you rank it to Game of Thrones?
It's not at Game of Thrones level yet.
I'm
I'm literally at the part where I'm about to finish the third season. So I'm at the part where Tony's with the that Mercedes dealership woman and what's his name? Jackie Jr. is did the hit up on the card game.
Okay.
And Meadow and Richie Jackie Jr. broke up, and Listen, I love the show. I think it's really good. I see why people love it, and I think it's fantastic. I'm going to keep watching it. I'm going to finish it. But for me, I feel like it's not going to quite hit those peak top 3, top 4 level all time, because at the end of the day, the show has aged a little bit, and it's just not quite that premium show that it was in 20 years ago.
It was one of the first big HBO shows.
Right. It was exactly. So it had that like gloss on it of like there's regular network television.
The Wire,
yeah. I like The Wire. I didn't love that show. So it had that sheen of like great, amazing. Like there's network TV and then there's The Sopranos. But now we have so many shows today that, as great as the show is, it's not quite.
It still
on that
holds
level.
up for me, and I've seen like YouTube clips and stuff. I'm like, damn, I remember that.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean?
Go back and watch like great parts.
Yeah, just funny parts.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Tony, I can't repeat some of the stuff he says on here, but
Paulie's hilarious.
I like Silvio.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I love
it.
Yeah.
It's but
see, I actually don't like some of the characters.
I just feel like for it to be on like a Game of Thrones level, it has to be something that Game of Thrones, you've never seen something like that before.
Never. Constantly just
You've never seen anything like that before.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen something along the lines of Sopranos in terms of movies.
Right.
With Goodfellas and
Casino
and Godfather. I don't want to say who hasn't seen Godfather, but I'm not going to point at him at all. I'm not going to point at him at all.
Oh, what's this film you're talking about? Yeah. No, I got you.
But I'm saying, it's Game of Thrones, you've never seen something like that.
Right.
Ever.
Even people say, like, Lord of the Rings. It's like, no. That's not the same thing as Game of Thrones. It's different.
It's way
The mob
different.
stuff is similar. The Game of Thrones stuff is not similar.
It's way out of fucking left field, bro.
Right.
There's incest, dragons, and fucking ice people.
It's like I joke with people. I say it's the greatest soap opera ever.
Yeah,
it's because it's literally just all these segments of people like living.
If they
their
didn't
lives.
fuck up the last season, but go ahead.
No, exactly. So, listen, love The Sopranos. It's going. I'm gonna finish it. It's great. I love it. But that's the thing too. I'm through 3 seasons, and I've only felt like I've seen like 2 or 3 shocking moments. And I know a show is not measured by shocking moments, but you want to be like blown away.
You want something that's gonna like keep you coming back.
And I told you guys I saw one thing so far that completely shocked me was Janice, Tony's sister, killing Richie. Did not see that coming because he punches her and he's like, yeah, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? And I'm like, this guy's scumbag hitting the girlfriend and all that. And then she comes out with the gun and I'm like, oh yeah, she's gonna come out with the gun. She won't have the nerve to actually do anything, and then he'll wrestle it away and he'll punch her, and then Tony's eventually gonna have to kill. I knew Tony was eventually gonna have to take care of it, but then she kills him.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
What do you rank it so far? Like, what do you not rank it, but what's the score?
So far, I'd say it's like an 8.5 or a 9.
That's good.
Because here's the thing, I don't like a lot of the characters. I think a lot of them are annoying, but James Gandolfini is James Gandolfini is Tony Soprano.
Yeah, he is.
That people think like that performance is just like, it's just him being a Guido and he's just being a loudmouth Gavone, whatever. But I'm like, no, there's like an element to it. There's a psychosis. Like I love the therapy stuff where this eloquent, like smart
the movie that's coming out.
Oh, I'm gonna be. That's another reason I wanted to watch the show because I want to be able to see that movie. Yeah,
and understand it. Yeah.
Exactly. See, I don't like Meadow. I don't like Christopher Moltisanti.
You don't?
I find him annoying. I think he's a good character, but I find him annoying.
You don't
sometimes.
like him? Well, yeah.
I find him he's kind of whiny. I think Michael Imperioli does a fantastic job playing him.
Yeah.
Meadow, Jamie Lynn Sigler is fine. I don't like the son AJ.
You don't like AJ?
He's like, because he's just a punk kid. He's just like, oh, I want to play video games and football, and like he's just.
Yeah, well, you'll see.
I love Edie Falco. Is great. Is his wife?
Listen, it's a great show.
Yeah. It's so I love it for now. I'm hyped. I'm gonna keep watching it, and I know I'm sure I'll love it more by the end.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do a couple movies now. Let's see what are some movies that we could talk about that we've seen that were been of course on streaming because we can't go see anything. I'll tell you one I've seen. I saw Birds of Prey a couple weeks ago.
How was that?
Not good. I didn't want to review it. It was.
I don't think I've seen that movie.
It like remember we were talking about it and we were like not. I know Tim especially was like, I'm not excited to see. I don't care about seeing. I'm like, yo, like we're usually up on every superhero movie, and none of you guys were like at all interested. And I was like, yeah, I'm not interested in seeing it at all.
This is the Harley Quinn. I don't.
Yeah, the Birds of Prey.
No interest.
I'll tell you the biggest problem with the movie. It's look, Margot Robbie's great as the character.
I think she is too.
She's fantastic.
I think she is.
Ewan McGregor plays the villain in it. Excellent. Really plays it well. And it's actually pretty well directed too. So you would think, oh, 2 good performances and good directing. The story is the worst story I've ever seen.
Worse than Ghostbusters?
Yeah. It's the most. You and I could sit here for 10 minutes and come up with a better story. It's literally go find this girl who has this thing that we need to get, and we need to get that thing. That's the whole movie. The birds of prey don't even come into a factor until the end when they all team up.
DC has been just putting out disappointing movies.
Well, they've been inconsistent because the most recent stuff, like the Wonder Womans and the Shazams and the Joker stuff, and even Aquaman. Aquaman was really good too.
They fucked up.
No, they did.
They need to
They need
to restart shit, dude. They're trying to do 3 different Batmans in 10 years.
I know.
That's insane. To me, that they fucked up Batman versus Superman, bringing in Doomsday.
Yeah,
that was
they did
bad.
nothing. Well, they did nothing with it.
That's what I'm saying. They ruined Doomsday.
Mm-hmm.
They ruined Doomsday.
He could have been the Thanos.
Batman should not. That's what I'm saying. That's a great point. But Batman shouldn't even be involved in that.
Right, because he can't fight a god.
That's what I'm saysaying. You can't fight him.
Wonder Woman, I could see.
He killed Superman.
Right. In one of the most notoriously great comics ever.
Yeah, he killed Superman.
And no one cares. Like that's the thing. People accuse DC of like not respecting their own material. Like look at the Marvel stuff. Whether you like every Marvel movie or not, and I know there's some that are worse than others, but Marvel respects the characters. You may not like Thor 2, or you may not like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, or whatever ones are the lowest rated. I don't really love the first Captain America, but they respect the characters. Because 2 and 3 are just 10 times better.
Well,
one is like
it's hard to compare them, but yeah.
Right, because 2 is Winter Soldier, which is a masterpiece, and 3
yeah.
is Civil War.
Yeah.
So it's like you have this one, but then
Civil
you have
War is kind of cheating.
But it's called Captain America Civil War.
I know what
you're saying, but it's Captain
it's
America
kind of
Civil
cheating.
War. Yeah.
Winter Soldier though.
It's top 3 Marvel.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the thing. Like whether you like those movies or not, you feel like they respect the characters. DC is sometimes are just like, oh yeah, like here's the thing that we think people will like, and here's it is, and I'm like, what? Suicide Squad was bad too.
It feels like so was fucking what's it called?
Justice League.
Justice League.
That was. I don't hate that movie. It's rough.
It was horrible.
They're gonna do the big news last week. Snyder cut. They're gonna redo the whole movie.
Snyder, whatever. Listen, but you're right. It feels like they were like, fuck, Marvel's really got an edge on us. We need to just do something right now.
That's what they did. They rushed to do Batman vs Superman, so they could rush to Justice League. Remember when we got to
that's what it feels like.
Civil War and Infinity War and Endgame, we had been introduced to all the characters in some way. But when you saw Justice League, we had never seen Flash and never seen Cyborg.
Yeah.
So you're like, you had they had Wonder Woman in Batman vs Superman for 10 minutes, but you had never seen these people.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you guys just rushed out the gate. And
that's what I'm saying. It feels like we have to compete right now.
Yeah. So
it's a shame. It sucks, but
it's the
that's why I didn't want to watch this Harley Quinn movie. Not interested in the least.
I knew I wasn't gonna go to the theater, so I just watched it at home.
In the least.
And it was just like, it's colorful and it's like fun, but it's just the story is terrible and it's just dumb, and there's no reason I would ever believe that this woman with a baseball bat can like beat up like dozens of guys.
Yeah.
And it's, like they always like drop their gun because it's like, remember, she can't shoot anybody.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how? Like, it's just, I didn't buy any of it.
Yeah.
Listen, I love Ewan McGregor. I love Margot Robbie. Fine, but it's just not good.
It's DC fucking up.
It was really
again.
Yeah. All right. So what else have I watched? Did you get a chance to see Extraction? Chris Hemsworth's action movie.
I've heard mixed things about it. You liked it.
I really liked it.
And a couple other people I know just weren't really a big fan of it.
See, the thing is, if you come at it from like, oh, I want to see a serious, well-acted action drama, like really high, it's like, okay, well then you're not gonna love it as much because there's not much of a story there. It's pure just popcorn,
action,
exciting action. Like the story is lame. Dumb, and it's actually it's lame and it's kind of like confusing where I'm like, well, why did that guy do this and why did that guy go over there? But if you just look at it from Chris Hemsworth is badass soldier and these incredibly well directed action set pieces, like John Wick style, like very like gun fu.
Really?
Yeah, like incredibly well done. Like
John Wick style or level?
John Wick style.
It's not on that.
Yeah, like I would never believe that Chris Hemsworth can beat John Wick. Yeah, no, never.
That's because you fucking love.
Oh, I love John Wick. Keanu Reeves.
Love John Wick.
I like hashtag Keanu Reeves, man.
Yeah,
love it. But listen, it's another perfect definition of like a 7.5. Well made, well directed.
It's quarantine worthy.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to just see a fun action movie,
order
on Netflix,
a pizza on Friday night, watch it
with the boys. Have a few beers, watch it with your girl.
Yeah,
turn your brain off.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Like there's a one shot in it that's like 8 minutes long, and it's faked. It's not actually one shot, but the way they edited it, made it look that way. That's just incredible, like insanely well done. And Netflix spent a ton of money on it.
Yeah,
I think they spent like $75-100 million on a Chris Hemsworth action movie.
Well, Netflix is just throwing fucking money.
Oh, they're just,
Netflix. I got some ideas, man. If you want.
they'll
They
give
just
us,
throw fucking money.
We should just show up at their office one day.
They just got they you know.
That's another.
They have money
that
to
should be a new
throw
segment
around.
for our show. Let's have people just pitch us like ideas, and we'll give them to Netflix.
And we'll pitch. We'll pitch it.
We'll pitch it, and we'll see.
We'll make a segment. Just
give me your Netflix
pitch
pitches.
to Netflix.
No, honestly, think about it. All the people that we know that follow us on Instagram, like they would have incredible ideas. Like where's like Netflix has.
Besides
a lot of
the fact
stuff.
that we have great ideas for movies and stuff,
of course
they have this. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Now, Netflix, that's the thing. Like that's their greatest strength and their greatest weakness is that they throw everything at the wall. But that's also the problem that they throw everything at.
I don't know why. Does Amazon do that? I don't have Prime, so I don't know why they don't do that.
Listen, Amazon has. I don't watch as much Amazon. They have good shows, but they don't promote them. I feel like you don't hear about them as much.
Give what's his name the money for the movie? The Leo movie,
DiCaprio and Scorsese.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Netflix?
The new thing is coming out is Apple. It was teamed up with Paramount.
It was Apple. Okay.
For the new movie movie you're talking about, the Killers of the Flower Moon. Is that it? Yeah. Apple's teamed up with Paramount to give Scorsese $200 million to make a drama.
I don't know why Amazon didn't do that.
Who knows?
Because Apple's their streaming shit is not doing well.
It's horrible. It's horrible. Like,
so that's smart for them. They have money in the bank. Fuck it. Go ahead.
It's weird. The bidding wars that go on for these shows is crazy because then you hear about the shows that like Stranger Things that like got denied like by eight places.
Yeah.
So like you just never know. Like that's the thing. I don't blame these streaming companies. You don't know what's going to be a hit anymore. There's so much content out there.
But when you're a company like Apple who has money in the bank or Amazon who has money, fucking take some chances, bro. Because you're gonna get Amazon already has the user base. You have it.
I know they do.
They have
people always signing
however
up for
many
Prime.
users on Prime. They have it.
Yeah. No,
so I don't know why they don't do that.
No, listen, I agree with you. All right. So anything else? Last little shows
Waco.
we want to talk about?
Waco. I like that.
Yeah, I have heard it's good.
I liked it. It was very good.
Okay, so
it's about David Koresh. I think that's his name.
I think right. It's played by Taylor Kitsch, right?
Yeah. It's about like the cult in Waco, Texas. That shit that happened in like the 90s.
All right, and how they attacked the house.
Yeah,
right?
the ATF. They have it as the ATF. The way they just portrayed it in the show, the ATF started shooting first.
Right.
And then a whole bunch of fucking hell breaks loose, and they end up being held for like 100 and something days.
Is it mostly about him, or like what?
How's it portrayed about him,
from? Mm-hmm.
But it's they focus primarily on him and how he has control over everyone in that house.
Okay, full on.
And he has, because he has multiple wives. He has.
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah, young.
I don't know a lot about that
young
story.
Women,
really?
Young girls.
Yeah,
and,
all brainwashed.
Yeah, like say I forget I think his name is Steve. He was fucking that guy's wife.
Mm-hmm.
Like he came in with her as his wife,
really?
and then he convinced both of them to be like, "That's my wife now."
So he was playing next level mind games.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. I know
because they thought he was Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Or something along those lines.
I've heard it's good. Like I've thought about checking it out a few times, and then I'm like, I'm gonna watch something else.
It's good. It's not long.
Yeah, it's like 6 or 8 episodes.
Yeah, it's not long. So and it's one off, so it's good.
Yeah.
You'll watch that. It's good.
I'll check that out.
It's good.
Yeah, I was finishing the Epstein documentary. That's why I didn't watch it. I was in the middle of that.
Yeah, watch it. It's pretty good.
All right, I can.
The first episode caught me, and I was like, "Damn!" And I watched another one right after it. And then,
is there any other stars in it besides Taylor Kitsch? Is there any other people that it focuses on?
It focuses on John Leguizamo's in it.
Oh, John. Okay, I like John Leguizamo. He's always good. He's always good in
it.
everything.
Who else? Fuck I don't know these guys' names, man. The guy who plays. I forget, man.
It's a jam-packed cast of people.
It's not jam-packed, but there are some people in there that you know.
Mm-hmm.
Julia Garner, Rory Culkin.
Oh, really?
Michael Shannon.
Oh, Michael Shannon's fantastic.
Yeah,
he's always good.
Yeah, Paul Sparks and Shea Wingham.
Oh, okay. That's a really wow. I'm never really gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Michael Shannon is always
so it's good, man. Definitely check it out.
All right, I'm gonna put that next on my
definitely
list.
check that out, man.
All right, Waco. I'm gonna check that out. All right, so let's move on to our next topic. Let's go a little bit more current now.
Okay.
And I think the big movie that everyone is excited about coming out, hopefully next month, is a little movie called Tenet.
You think it's going to come out?
Okay, so that's the question I want to talk about. The plot, we really don't know what's really going on.
I don't think no one's going to know the plot, even if they've seen the movie 3-4 fucking times.
Have you seen those stories of like, oh, the actors like didn't know the plot? They were like asking him between takes, like, why am I doing this? What's happening? Like, so my question to you is, will this be the first movie? Because Nolan said he wants to be the first movie to like welcome everyone back.
He said that?
Yeah, he said he wants his movie to be like the comfort blanket for everyone to go back to the theater, have a big, and plus it's a big blockbuster, and it's going to set the groundwork too for the month, because after Tenet, like 3 weeks later is Mulan, and I've been insanely excited to see Mulan.
Yeah, I know that.
So again, my question to you is, will it be coming out, and what's it going to look like when we all finally go back? That's the thing everyone's been telling me. What's it going to look like when we go back to the theater? What's going to happen?
That's another. Do you want to be the first one back? Because
Nolan wants to be.
I know, but I'm thinking, do you really want that? Because are people going to show up? You spent how much money on this fucking movie?
This movie's got to be over 200, 250 easy, right?
That's what I'm saying. You spent how much money on this movie, and you really want to risk it? It's a big risk.
It's a huge risk. It's a monumental risk.
It's a big risk that you might not make your fucking money back because people are scared.
I know. Yeah.
People are scared to go to the fucking grocery store.
Yeah. Theaters are doing everything in their power now. I've been getting like surveys and like emails like, oh, what would you like to see from us when you come back? Would you like us to do this? Would you like us to do that? And I'm wondering, I'm like, even if they do all these precautions, like, how are they going to stagger? Like, that's the thing, you have to do like staggered seating. Not everyone's going to be able to sit together. Like, yeah, if you buy, like, if you and me go, like, yeah, we could sit next to each other, or you go with your parents, of course. But how are they going to like split everyone up? Are you got 50% capacity?
Well, they have to do that because how are you going to know?
Exactly.
How are you gonna know?
And you know what?
Which is that like that's not good for the movie at all. You're not gonna make any money.
I've heard some people
because people are just gonna be like, fuck this. I can't even get a seat.
Right, because it's 50%. That's what it's sold out. He said that's 50% capacity. That's what I'm saying. It's 50.
How am I gonna get a seat?
That's gonna because like usually whenever we want to see something we can go, but this might be a problem.
The only thing they have on it is people aren't working. So you can go at all times. It doesn't have to be a Saturday night thing, Friday night thing.
I'm really split between the extremes, which is the world we live in today, where it's like people dying to go back, which totally get it. You and I, we all want.
I want to go back.
Yeah, I want to go back. But then there's the other end of the spectrum where it's like people that are just terrified and just don't want to go, and it's like, where is the middle ground?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are people gonna like have a problem like being scared and going back?
I think they are. I think they are.
I don't know. Dan, do you think people are going to be like crazy? Like, where do you think it's? Do you think it's going to be like in the middle? You think people are going to be like crazy scared, or they're going to be like dying? Really? So you think it's going to be slow going back? You think at 50% capacity, it will be like you think they're going to have less than 50% capacity? Really? Wow. Okay.
It's hard to say, man.
It is so hard.
It's hard to say, man.
And it's a big blockbuster. People are going to want to see it. It's like it's a weird situation where it's not just like some small movie that people might like. I'm not feeling
the super hype around. I mean, maybe it's because there's a lot of bullshit going on.
Yeah.
Today, exactly. Unfortunately,
there's a lot. Yeah.
There's a lot of. So you're not really. I don't have the hype for it because there's just too much shit going on right now.
You notice amongst like the more general, sure, but I'm telling you, every film fan I talk to, everyone on Instagram, everyone who knows anything about, they are so excited for this movie. They're it's Nolan. It's that Nolan magic.
It's not going to be better than Inception. I will fucking book. I will put that in the book.
I don't think it's
going
to be. I don't think. Well, it's also we got Leo.
But just the story. Tom Hardy.
Mm-hmm. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
That cast is incredible.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Want to hear a crazy theory I heard? I read this yesterday. Take it with a grain of salt. Could be complete nonsense.
Don't worry, I will.
It's gonna blow your mind. I heard somebody said, imagine if Nolan is playing such a mind game with all of us that Tenet is a sequel to Inception.
Inception 2?
Right.
It's a sequel.
You saw me go, and we didn't talk about this before the show.
We did not.
I wanted to drop this on you.
I knew where you were going.
Dan, do you think that's at all possible? You're saying no. Okay, he's saying no.
It'd be a mistake.
In what way would it be a mistake?
Inception's like a masterpiece.
You don't want to.
You don't want to see a part 2? I do.
That's why I brought it up to you too. I know you've been talking about a sequel.
I wanted to see, maybe not necessarily a sequel, but something in that realm. I don't have to see Leo in it. I don't have to, but it'd be cool.
It has very similar themes of like the time thing and the rewind. Like it could be like I'd be blown away. I'll be officially. I don't think it's a sequel, but if it is, I'll fall out of my seat.
Well, you'll have to know. maybe. I mean, how long is the movie? 2 hours?
No, I heard it's like
2.5.
no, I heard it's like over 3 hours. You're talking about Tenet, right? Not Inception.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it's like over 3 hours.
But yeah, so
which is
how long are they gonna go without showing the dream thing?
It would be like one of those like last 15-minute shockers, and then the whole last 15 minutes is like showing you how you didn't see all the hints throughout the movie. Listen, I'm going on record. I do not think it is, but I heard someone say that, and I'm like, Nolan is that kind of genius to play that game. He would do it. He would do it.
All right.
I'm
gonna be watching it, so I'll be there.
Did you show the new trailer? Everyone got hyped for the new trailer.
No.
Oh, you didn't see it?
Oh no, did you send it?
Yeah, I sent it to you.
Yeah, send it. I did watch.
Yeah,
it.
I still don't know what this movie's about.
I wasn't like. That's what I'm saying. I wasn't like.
I like it. I want to see it. I still don't understand what the movie is. I know he's gonna stop World War III and he's got to like fight people and stop this.
We'll see, man. We'll see. I'm not as. I don't know. I'm indifferent, I guess. I want to see it, but I'm not. I don't have high hopes for it.
So you want to see it as soon as possible, but it's maybe not the movie where like day one you have to go. It's not like one of those things where like
I would.
Yeah.
Just because I haven't been to the fucking movie since 1917. That's the last movie I've seen.
Yeah. Okay. Last movie I saw was The Way Back with Ben Affleck. That was good.
Oh, when he's the basketball coach?
Yeah.
Was that good?
Really good. Yeah.
Was it kind of like a version of what's the baseball movie with Keanu Reeves? Hardball.
Hardball.
Was it kind of like that?
Kind of, but not as like
more
silly
serious,
and corny. It's a little bit more serious. Like Ben Affleck.
It has a more serious vibe to it.
Yeah, it is, and it's a fun, solid, good movie. Yeah. So
I wanted to see Bad Boys 3. Was that good?
Bad Boys was awesome.
Was it?
Yeah, and I'm not a big Bad Boys person.
I fucking loved the second one.
Exactly. The first one I'm not a big fan of.
I like the first one.
It's okay, yeah.
The second one is better.
The second one is just crazy. This third one, I went into it fully thinking like this is gonna be dumb, stupid. Like who cares?
I want to watch that,
and I loved it.
Yeah?
Definitely watch Bad Boys 3.
I'll watch that.
It's fun. Turn your brain off, silly.
Yeah.
Great. All right. So Tenet hype is there.
Yeah.
We're obviously skeptical on what the theater situation is gonna be because it's gonna be hard to really say.
Hopefully,
what's happening, but
hopefully it goes well.
Yeah, I hope so.
I doubt it, but we'll see.
Yeah. All right. So for our last segment, guys, I asked you guys to submit some questions.
Oh,
and
this is the question.
Yes,
okay.
And we'll have some fun. We'll answer some of our questions on here. All right. So first question we had from Erica Gaudino on Instagram. She asked us, what were our thoughts on The Wrong Missy, that new Netflix Sandler movie?
Did not see
and
it.
I gotta tell you, I did not see it either. I know it was like number 1 on Netflix for a while. It was on the top 10. But
was it?
Yeah, it was number 1 for a few days. And I'm like, man, anything that Sandler's company puts out, like people just flock to see it. I heard some people say that they liked it, but I'm just not.
What are people saying on Google right here?
Bad. Like it has not been good.
5.7.
Yeah.
36 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. Danny, you and I were going through it last week, and we saw some
Does
clips
anyone
of it.
think Nick Swartzen is funny?
Yo, thank you for saying that. I do not think that guy is funny. Like, he's got some funny moments. Like there's something, but I'm he needs to stop showing up in these movies.
He may be a funny stand-up if that's what he does, but as like actor,
not yeah.
Like I don't know. I don't find him funny.
Yeah, like I don't get it.
I don't find him funny.
It's yeah. I don't mean either. So yeah, listen to me. I'm not a David Spade fan. I haven't seen it. Maybe I'll check it out.
I like David Spade.
Yeah.
I like David Spade.
Sometimes he's okay. Sometimes he's all right.
I like David Spade. I think he's funny, but I don't see him. I don't want to watch that movie.
Yeah, me neither. I might check it out.
I just looked at the picture and I'm like, no, I'm good.
It looks dumb.
Yeah. I'm good.
All right. So the next thank you, Erica Gaudino on Instagram. Appreciate it. Okay, so next question is from Storm Reviews on Instagram. He asked us what our favorite thriller movie is.
There's a lot.
Yeah. Okay. So thrillers.
Inception. We just talked about it.
Yeah, that's
psychological.
Yeah, psychological. Like I could totally see that.
Another Leo movie, Shutter Island.
Oh yes, Shutter Island.
Island.
Scorsese and Leo.
Yeah.
Back at it.
Honestly, yeah, I love
Shutter
that
Island
movie.
is really good. I feel like that movie didn't have the love when it first came out, and it's like gained like this cult following over time of like. And I know anything Leo does is not a cult following, but definitely more people have like appreciated it for like how good it.
Mark Ruffalo's in it.
Yes,
he's
he plays
his partner.
the cop partner. Yeah. Jackie Earle Haley.
Yeah,
is in it.
It's that's a great one.
Probably the all-time favorite for me, and a lot of people always talk about it. The Sixth Sense, man.
It's a great movie. It's a classic movie.
That's like I think when people think of thriller, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. I think that's like the truth. Because there's so many kinds of thrillers today. There's action thrillers, there's psychological thrillers.
That's the other thing. There's a lot of
like. Didn't you say you saw that someone said John Wick was a type of thriller?
Action thriller.
Action thriller.
Matrix.
Yeah. See, to me, thriller is like psychological, and that's what Sixth Sense is.
Fight Club.
That's a thrill. Oh, that's Oh my God, Fight Club's amazing.
It's a great movie.
I love that one.
Yeah.
Fight Club.
Trying to think.
I say Fight Club and Sixth Sense for me. Probably got to be.
Fight Club is like a really fucking.
Norton and Pitt, man.
Yeah.
You can't beat
that.
That's.
I'm trying to think of more.
How about? Let me see. I'm looking right now.
That's what I'm saying because there's so many different genres of it. Like,
how about like The Gift? That one's really good with Joel Edgerton and Jason Bateman. It's on Netflix, I believe.
I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, that one is really. It's really like a good drama.
Uncut Gems is a good. It's an anxiety-ridden thriller.
Drama thriller. Uncut Gems has been getting a nice reception ever since it came out.
Some people aren't really loving it though.
Some people don't.
Like someone in this room.
Someone in this room that we know.
I'm not going to point any fingers, but he's over there.
Yeah, he's the one checking our
Get Out.
Get Out. Okay, that movie's awesome. Love Get Out.
My favorite, The Joker. I'm just joking.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Definitely joking.
Love Joker that much. How about Darren Aronofsky, Black Swan? Natalie Portman.
Yes, that's a good one.
Aronofsky is the master of like drama, thriller, psychological. Not everything Aronofsky does is great, but he's really good at like digging into the psyche.
Oh, I'm looking here. M. Night Shyamalan's Split.
Oh, Split's awesome.
Like that whole, Glass.
Yeah, Glass. I love Split more. Glass not so much, but I love Split.
It.
Oh, yeah. It. Yeah, that's more like just horror though. So
yeah, man.
So much
gotta like look at shit.
Enemy with Jake Gyllenhaal. I love that one.
Don't think I've seen it.
That's one where he plays two versions of himself, and the whole movie you're trying to figure out like what's going on.
I don't think I've seen it.
Really crazy. That's a good one. Any last one you want to
Get Out?
There? Yeah, we said Get Out.
Oh, I said Get Out?
Yeah. That one's excellent.
No.
So yeah, for me, I would say if I had to stamp it down, I got
The Departed.
Oh, okay. Gangster drama thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'd say for me, Sixth Sense and Fight Club. Yeah.
Those are good.
Those are just excellent. Got to go with those.
Can't argue that.
All right. So thanks, Storm Reviews. Hope we
Stormy.
help you answered your question. Okay. So and one of our biggest fans, Reviews by Quinn on Instagram. He wants to know what are the best and worst movie reboots and remakes.
Ghostbusters is the worst movie remake I have ever seen in my life.
I was waiting for you to bring that one up.
Or Dumb and Dumber 2.
Yes, that one is.
That was one of the most disappointing fucking.
That one was disappointing, but Ghostbusters 2016 is one of the worst.
I would say those two in terms of having like Dumb and Dumber has a fucking cult following,
and they finally brought it back.
Terrible.
It was a sequel, though. I don't know if you count. It's not really a reboot or a remake. It's a bad sequel. Ghostbusters was like, we're gonna do it with women now, and it's gonna. And I'm like, yeah, you got funny women who have a good pedigree.
Okay,
but it wasn't well executed.
I'm just thinking of shit movies then.
Yeah, so that one. What's another like? Let's go with the bad ones first. It's always more fun to talk about the bad ones.
Yeah.
Charlie's Angels came out last year.
I didn't even see it. Didn't want to see it.
Elizabeth Banks directed it. I didn't see it.
Didn't even want to see it.
The reviews were bad. I seen like
that was the one where they came out and were like, "Why aren't you watching this?"
Yeah,
movie?
like female-led movies are not going to make money. But I'm like, no, it's not making money because the movie sucks. And I seen some people cut together some scenes. I was watching some analysis on it. And just the action scenes are terrible. They're badly edited. Like you and I know good action scenes when we see them when they're directed. And they're like choppy and they're edited fat and they're just not good. So,
I didn't even want to see that movie.
Like, that's another thing I don't get. Like, why are they rebooting all these old like Charlie's Angels? You're rebooting Charlie's Angels, and
I would say Ghostbusters to me is the worst.
It might be. I
don't think I could think of anything.
I'll throw another one out at you. The RoboCop from 2014 with Joel Kinnaman. I saw that one. That was terrible.
RoboCop. Or how about what's the Arnold movie?
Oh. Total Recall.
Total Recall was total bullshit.
Yes,
They
when I was
totally remove that.
Yes,
movie.
I saw people talking about that one online too. They're like Colin Farrell. I'm like, why are they redoing Total Recall?
Yeah,
like
that
no
was
one
bad.
asked. No one asked for this.
That was bad.
Total Recall.
I was waiting for the 3 titty bitch to be. She wasn't.
She didn't show. I didn't see it, so I don't even know.
Yeah.
And then
Wait, you didn't see the first Total Recall?
I haven't seen the first one or the remake. I have not seen
What
Total
the
Recall.
fuck, man?
I love Schwarzenegger too. I love Schwarzenegger.
Total Recall.
True Lies.
It's a great movie.
It's really good.
I
I'll have to
love
check it
that
out.
movie.
I love True
It's
Lies.
such like a Arnold movie, man.
Yeah,
It is.
And I've seen a ton of Arnold
It's
movies.
good.
I love
Watch
Arnold.
it.
All right, I'll check that one out. I got to throw out too. Last one for just the bad ones. They redid Death Wish with Bruce Willis a few years ago. I mean, it's like Charles Bronson.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, and again, the same thing I'll say. Who asked for Death Wish to be remade? like Hollywood sometimes just has no idea of like. And you got Bruce Willis. Like
they have
to do it.
Hollywood's just creativity over the last decade, probably longer, has just been horrible.
Yeah, at least there's been like the indie scene rising over the last few years that have like helped make like more fun, creative,
just,
little smaller budget movies like the Gems kind of things where just smaller budget.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do the good reboots and remakes now. We'll talk about some of the ones that we did like. I've always said this. Dawn of the Dead, 2004, Zack Snyder, one of his first directed movies.
Okay.
That one, from George A. Romero 50 years prior, that's a fantastic remake.
What about Mad Max?
Yo, that's a great one.
I didn't-
Mad Max with Tom Hardy.
I didn't see Dawn of the Dead. I didn't see
You didn't see that one? In the
No.
mall, Ving Rhames.
I didn't see that.
Really good. But yeah, Mad Max, you mentioned that to someone.
Mad
That's
Max.
that was heralded across the board when
Yeah,
it came out.
people loved
Did you
that.
see it in the theater when it came out?
I did not.
I saw it in the theater.
I saw it on the streaming.
Oh, you did? Oh, you didn't get the big theater
I
experience?
didn't. That's why I didn't. I wasn't like. It was good to me, but I wasn't like in love with it. Like everyone else.
I was in
It's
the theater.
movies like that you have to see. Like I watched when I watched 1917. I'm like, this is a movie I have to watch in the theater.
Right.
I
Especially
feel
when you
like
heard
if
about the craft.
Yeah, if I watch it at home during the day, it's not gonna be the same.
I agree. Yeah, that's
what I mean?
yeah. No, I get that because I remember seeing Mad Max in the theater and being like, "Oh my god! Like, how do they do this? They're crashing real cars into like real other cars. There's no CG here. Like, they're just doing it.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
What's another great one? We talk about remakes. The Departed. A lot of people don't know. Scorsese's Departed with Leo.
Great.
That
movie.
is a remake.
That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Really? Did you know it was a remake?
No, I did not.
It's a remake of an.
I think I found out after the fact.
I
didn't know.
Yeah, it's a
but I
remake
found
of
out
an
after the
Asian
fact.
film called Infernal Affairs, and about two guys that go into each other's organizations and try to figure each other out.
I'm looking right here. Do you want to count Spider-Man?
Well, Spider-Man's always rebooted every so often, so
And Batman?
yeah, those are all Nolan's Batman Begins is an incredible
That's what I'm
reboot.
saying.
Anytime you have a new Spider-Man, you can count it.
yeah.
Tom Holland's reboot is Spider-Man is
Yeah.
great. Into
Oh.
the Spider-Verse is a reboot for animated. That's fantastic.
There's a fan question around thoughts around Evil Dead remake.
Oh, Evil Dead remake. Okay, so I remember all the hype for that one. Everyone was talking about it at the time, and I ended up eventually seeing it at home with a friend of mine who's also a big horror fan. And listen, I liked it. I thought it was fine, but I didn't think it was like the masterpiece everyone was making it out to be.
I'm not a huge horror movie fan.
Yeah, I'm not a big
'cause
horror
they're not.
person.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess I'm just not scared.
I know the legacy. I know like Sam Raimi, Evil Dead, Bruce Campbell, and all that.
Yeah.
But and listen, I liked the reboot. I thought it was solid. It's the guy who also did Don't Breathe. A few years later, I can't think of the director's name off the top of my head.
I don't know.
So it was good. It was done, but I didn't think it was quite like the masterpiece that.
You know more
everyone
about
wanted.
directors and shit
Yeah.
than I do.
Who asked that question, Danny?
The Beard Film Reviews.
Oh, okay.
Beard?
Yeah,
Beard Gang?
Bearded Film Reviews. Shout out,
There
man.
we go.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
for
the Planet of the Apes.
Great. Oh yeah, those 3 Apes
Yes,
movies.
you were talking about that earlier. Yes.
James Franco's in the first one, and then Andy Serkis' Caesar takes over in the last two. That's a great one. Oh, and that's another one we enjoyed a few years ago. It. They rebooted It.
Amazing.
It maybe better than the first one.
Amazing.
The original, I should say.
Yeah, amazing.
It's awesome. The second one, not so much.
I still liked it though.
Awesome.
I still liked it. But
yeah, I love those. And then the last one I can throw at you is hey, look, Bond is always rebooted. James Bond. I love Casino Royale. When Daniel Craig was the new Bond, everyone was complaining.
Okay.
Oh, he can't do it. I'm like, no, Casino Royale. I think people would tell you now. All the people that were complaining about Daniel Craig not being a great Bond, now all say Casino Royale is one of their all-time favorite Bond movies. And that Casino Royale. Have you seen Casino Royale, Danny? Excellent, right? One of the best Bond movies. Awesome.
What
All right.
else?
So
I'm trying to think.
yeah. Is there
man.
anything else?
I'm trying to look real quick.
Yeah. There's just so many. Everything is just remade and rebooted today.
Man of Steel.
Yes, I love Man of Steel. That's one.
I love that.
I love that movie. That's to me. It's one of the most
I
underappreciated
love
comic
that
book movies
movie.
ever.
Like
Henry Cavill,
you
man.
watch that movie and you're like, okay, DC's got something coming for you.
Yeah, and don't bother making a second one.
Yeah.
Hashtag Man of Steel 2, everyone. I'm
Yeah.
dying for that. What were you saying, Danny?
Here's a question from Quinn. What is
Quinn.
a video game adaptation you would like to see made, and who would you get to direct it?
Oh wow, great
Well,
question.
aren't they doing Drake? Drake's Uncharted.
Yes, they are making Uncharted Drake's. Yes, they're making that.
So that would be-
I'll tell you one that I would love to see remade. They're actually making it now into a TV show. They're doing The Last of Us, that virus apocalyptic with the guy and the girl.
Okay.
They're turning that into a TV
That's
show.
the PlayStation game. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. They're turning that into a TV show, but I'm telling you right now, I would want that into. It was originally going to be a movie. They were making it for a movie. I would want that to be a movie. 100%. I want God of War to be a movie.
That would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, give me those two right there.
And I
of
don't
Us
even
and-
play. I never played those games, but that would be
Who could direct Last of Us? You would need like a really gritty, like down to earth director. I could.
You didn't say
Which one?
Solid Snake.
Well, they're making it. Well, that's also another one. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid. That's that's close to my heart. Jordan Roberts is working on that right now.
Really?
I will be there. I'm not gonna be there day one. I'll be there day zero. I'll be the first one online. I've been waiting for Metal Gear Solid for 20 years.
I know.
I cannot wait. I'm still waiting to find out who's gonna be Solid Snake. So yeah, in terms of directors, maybe like Sam Mendes or like David Lynch. You know,
God
like
of
someone
War
really
though,
dramatic.
you'd have to have a big time
You need like
director,
an epic like action
like
director.
Michael Bay.
Yeah, but the problem with Michael Bay is you actually have to have a story in your movie, and he's not really good at making stories for movies. So I don't know if I'd want him for God of War. Who would be like action, but like with thought? Who's like a big like action guy, but also can like give you something? Maybe the Russo brothers.
Okay.
Big over the top, lambastic,
Okay.
crazy, but like
And have Kevin Feige involved.
sign me up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah,
excellent.
that would be good. Who would play the character?
Kratos. I'll tell you. Okay, I'll tell you. I heard this years ago. People have been asking for a God of War movie for a long time. I'll tell you the exact guy who should be Kratos, and people have been saying this for a long time. I can't know if I pronounce his name correctly. He's from Blood Diamond with DiCaprio. Dimonjin Hansu, I believe that's his name.
The guy that played opposite of him.
Yes, and he's also in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
That guy, he can be Kratos.
Yeah.
No doubt in my mind. He's got like the.
Did
the
you
bald
play
head.
that game?
God of War?
Yeah.
The old ones, 1, 2, and 3.
I've
Yes,
never
I've
played
not
them.
played the new
I've
PlayStation
never
4. I
played
want to
them.
play the new one. I have it on my PlayStation. I haven't played it yet.
Okay.
Um,
That's a good question.
yeah, great question. Reviews by Quinn once again with
That
the
was
fantastic
that was a
question.
good question.
Okay, so for our next question,
Let us know. Let us know in the comments what you guys would want to see.
Yeah, tell us. That's awesome. Frank, what's one movie that really sucked and you wish didn't exist? That's from Cinephiles Nation on Instagram.
Oh my god.
A movie that sucked and I don't want to exist. I'll throw one out at you.
Episode 8? No, go ahead.
Well, it's still Star Wars. I love it. No, Lady in the Water
The
with
fuck is
M. Night
that?
Shyamalan. Have you seen that movie, Danny? That movie is horrible. It's boring. It's
One
dull.
movie that I wish.
It's awful. It's Drek, and I don't want to beat down on M. Night Shyamalan, but the other movie he made too that's terrible is Avatar: Last Airbender. Like, I know people love the cartoon, but the movie was horrible. He's made 2 of my least favorite movies ever. M. Night. He's made some of my favorite movies. He's also made some of my
One
worst,
movie I
most
wish
shittiest
didn't
movies.
Exist. Shit.
Yeah, just wipe it from your memory. You want it to just be trashed.
That's fucking tough.
Episode 8, Ghostbusters.
Episode 8, Ghostbusters. I don't think I have one, to be
No.
honest with you.
Nothing that you hate like that much.
Yeah. Seriously, I don't think I do.
No?
I'm trying to think. I don't think I do.
Well, if you think of it, we'll come back to it.
I'll put it in the comments.
Okay. Next comment we got is from Tyler Freer.
Tyler.
Tyler, he
Shout out
just
to Tyler.
he wanted to give me a little nudge, and he said, watch The Godfather.
Yeah.
Yeah, but-
Please. It's
yeah,
been about,
I
I don't
know.
know, fucking.
I have it on Blu-ray too.
It's been.
I
That's the thing that's what I don't get.
I know
You've had all this
I'm
fucking
late.
time.
Because I'm like
dude.
mad lazy.
Everyone talk shit to him on social media.
You're gonna leave me
and say,
comments
you
now.
have to fucking watch this movie.
You know, I do. I'm too.
1 and
I'm-
2, don't even worry about 3.
I know. I got the trilogy.
Yeah, don't even worry about 3.
Okay, so our last.
Fans
Okay.
are disagreeing about Avatar. They like it.
The Avatar, the movie?
Yeah.
No, the Last Airbender. They're mentioning it's the No, not Avatar. Not James Cameron.
You did mention Avatar. I was like,
yeah,
I
but I
don't
said
know
Avatar: The
what
Last
the fuck you were talking.
Airbender, which is the M Night Shyamalan movie, which is considered one of the worst adapted movies ever. Yeah, yeah, like that.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's based on a
Avatar is great. I can't wait for
Avatar's
Avatar
awesome.
too. I
But this is
cannot
based
wait
off-
for
This
Avatar
is based off
too.
an anime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a live action based off an anime, which is widely known. I bet you on
Gotcha.
IMDb it's like a 5 or a 4. Yeah, there's no way people are defending that movie. Okay, so our last question of the night, also from Bearded _film
There we
_
go.
reviews.
Beard
Bearded.
gang.
Shout out, Bearded.
There
Oh,
we
awesome!
go.
Shout out, bro. He asked, "What's your favorite bonkers bizarre movie?"
That's such a weird
His
question.
is a movie
That's a
called
bonkers question.
Rubber, which I've not heard of. Apparently, it's about a tire that like eats people, but I've never had heard of that film previously.
A tire that eats people?
Yeah, it's considered like a guilty pleasure fun movie. You ever heard of this movie, Danny? Called Rubber. Yeah. So I'll tell you. So weird, strange, funny, crazy movies for me. Have you guys ever heard of a movie called Mother? Darren Aronofsky, Jennifer Lawrence.
No.
That is a wild, out there, crazy. The whole movie is a religious allegory. It's about like two people living in a house, and then constantly just crazier and crazier stuff happens. And by halfway through the movie, you're like, what is going on here? Like it gets like insane really fast.
Well, what I'm trying to understand the question. Bonkers
It's just-
like fucking weird?
Yeah, like weird, like Sharknado, weird, crazy, out there. Something that's not considered the norm, like a regular like movie.
Well, bonkers, you say bonkers, I think it's something stupid. Like
Yeah, you can.
that superhero movie that Ben Stiller was in. Do you remember when that
Oh.
guy with the throwing knives?
Oh, Mystery Men.
Mystery Man.
Okay, that's a bonkers. Yeah, that's
Okay,
absolutely
I gotta think of
Mystery
that.
Man. I never
Like,
seen it.
The Gas Man and shit. The guy.
I heard that movie was.
His problem is farts. He farts.
Is that
on
really?
people.
I never seen it. Is
Yeah,
it that weird?
It's not good. Don't watch that movie.
I've heard some people love it, some people hate it.
Ben Stiller's like his character's like anger problems.
That's his problem.
Yeah.
Isn't like Janine Garofalo in that movie
Yeah,
too? Okay.
Yeah,
So yeah, Mother is an out there weird one. If you guys want to check that out. Another one that I'll tell people that's really more just unnerving and strange and unsettling is Under the Skin with what's her name? Scarlett Johansson. She plays like an alien. She's like walking around at night, like meeting guys and then like killing them. It's a really strange.
Sounds weird.
It's a really weird, strange. I actually don't like it that much. I think it's kind of pretentious, stupid. It's well acted, but I don't like it. You know, it's another weird, bizarre movie people would say. I'll throw this one out there. Human Centipede. I've never seen any of them.
I've never seen it,
but we know what it is.
It's been made fun of on fucking
South Park.
That was awesome.
That's a weird, bizarre.
Weird, bizarre movie.
I'm trying to think of some other like weird ones.
I'm trying to think.
There's a foreign film called Martyrs about two girls that are like tortured and like beaten and stuff. That's a brutal, hard to watch, crazy, weird. Because it goes into like the horror element too, where it's like these movies start to get to be like The Hills Have Eyes and Human Centipede, and like so the weird, bizarre goes into like a lot of different directions.
Let's look on Google. Weird movies.
What's up?
Mike said he sent questions on Instagram.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out and see what he left for us. Is there any other like bizarre like?
I'm trying to like
strange-
I just Googled weird movies.
I guess you gotta type in like bizarre movies.
Bizarre movies.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Mike's got a lot of stuff here. Okay, let's see what we can get through. Oh, yes, it's about will theaters make a comeback? We were talking about that. If we think it can happen, it's gonna take slowly over time.
Hopefully, as soon as possible.
He said, "Is James Cameron the GOAT, the God?" He's up there.
We'll
James
see
Cameron's
after Tenet.
James Cameron's one of the best. What else did he say? He said, here's a good question. Mike J. Grassi on Instagram asked us. He said, should Netflix and Disney Plus be nervous about HBO Max? And I'm telling you right now, I don't think Netflix and Disney Plus are going to be worried about HBO Max.
Well, HBO Max, what's different?
Okay, so a lot of people have been asking me this.
Don't they already have something?
It's insanely. It's so dumb and confusing. Danny, have you followed the HBO Max, HBO Now, HBO Go?
7,000 downloads first day.
Oh, okay. Wow, not bad. Okay. Okay, so here's the difference for anyone who doesn't know. HBO Go is for anyone who already has HBO through their cable provider, and they just want to log in through their cable provider, and they have
watch
HBO Go.
Gotcha.
HBO Now is for anyone who doesn't have HBO through cable. They just want to have HBO
HBO.
separate.
Yeah.
So it's just HBO Now. HBO Max is now the upgraded version of Now, where they're trying to like conglomerate everything into the like. They're gonna have to eventually do away. They can't have three
But what's
services.
different?
Nothing. It's always about adding more content into Max. So the difference with Max that they have slightly different from Go and Now is they have a Crunchyroll animated section. It's an animated stream site. They have the Looney Tunes stuff. They got all the DC most of the DC library. They have Studio Ghibli, which is a big Japanese animation studio. All the Studio Ghibli movies, and but it's weird because you would think they'd have all the DC stuff, but they don't have like the DC Batman animated cartoon.
Yeah.
So listen, I think HBO is huge. I think the app is going to be. I know the launch was rough. People were talking about, it didn't have everything that they wanted it to have. They have a problem right now with Roku and Amazon Fire Stick. They don't have a licensing deal with them, so they're missing out on literally millions of people who can't watch through Roku and through Amazon.
Oh.
So they're having that problem too.
That's big.
But in terms of like the way the app looks and the way it streams, I think it's great.
I love HBO.
Yeah, I watch a lot of HBO.
I just don't know what's different. So
yeah, it's a few of those like extra content.
I know, but
yeah, they gotta get the DC. They're mad too that Nolan's Batmans are not on there. They're supposed to be all about DC, and they don't have. Again, it's all licensing nonsense. I think HBO Max is going to do great once they integrate everyone where they got to be with all this 3-service nonsense. Once
it's very hard. It's going to be very hard to compete with Netflix and Hulu and I guess Disney Plus now.
Yeah, no,
it's going to be hard to compete with them. Even Apple, like Apple's a giant. Amazon, they're giants.
Yeah, but you've
in
seen
the world.
They're all giants. But that's the thing. Like you've seen it. If really right now, Netflix owns the game, and then Disney Plus is doing so well with all of its subscribers.
That's what I'm saying.
Like people don't bug out for Amazon. They don't bug out.
That's what I'm saying. It's very if giants like that are having trouble competing,
But I think HBO is going to have that. It is in a nice space where it's got the brand of like 25 years now. Where Netflix and Disney can rock out,
years.
But then HBO can be there. It's the Apples, it's the Amazons, it's the the Shutters, like and the Voodoos and all these other services that are.
But HBO has great shows.
Yeah,
they have like Westworld and whatever the fuck else is.
Yeah,
I mean, I haven't had cable.
They have the political commentary. They have
I don't.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, they have
the legacy stuff.
Alzheimer's shows. Yeah,
right.
So. I don't think it's gonna hurt them, but
it's
hard. To me, it's hard to compete with Netflix. Netflix has a foothold in the game, man.
They do because they were also first to the launch.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the thing. They have.
When you think of streaming, people automatically Netflix.
Yeah. So Mike had another quick question. I'll answer. He said, "Can studios make the same money if forced to release on VOD?" And he said, no, they can't.
I don't think
That's
so.
not going to happen. You have to force people
so.
to go to the theaters.
They can't.
No, there's no way.
Because what's stopping people from just? I wonder how much money they lose from people illegally streaming the movie, anyways.
Well, that's a weird question that a lot of people always talk about because as much as we know, obviously, people are downloading and streaming and stealing stuff. The biggest movies that get bootlegged every year are always like the biggest blockbuster films. So it's like people don't worry much about the little movies. It's the big ones like the Avatars and the End Games that get the most downloads. So they're gonna make their money anyway. But it's definitely a problem now with these movie.
That's why they haven't. You can't, bro. They're not gonna make their money back. They're spending way too much money to make these fucking movies. How are they gonna make their money back?
That's the biggest thing. Like even some of these little movies that are coming out on stream. Whether it be
how much is it to rent a movie?
Well, the theaters are doing their thing now, where all these movies that had to come out a little bit later, like come out to the VOD a little bit earlier than expected, they're doing like $20. So like Invisible Man was out and it made a ton of money for like 3 or 4 weeks, but then they're like, let's put it out early and they charge like $20.
But it's renting, right?
Yeah, you're renting. Yeah, you're not buying.
That's like.
Well, some people let you rent, some people let you buy, whatever.
But for $20, I'm not renting. I'm not doing that.
But their theory is if you were going to go to the theater to see Invisible Man, but then you're at home now and you have no choice, you'll pay the $20 to maybe watch it with like.
Yeah, but if I'm going to the theater, I'm going for the fucking experience.
Right.
I love.
That's the biggest problem.
I love that movie experience. Like. I don't have a fucking 50-foot screen in my house.
Right. That's the thing. People can say the comfort
of.
You can talk about the comfort of your home all you want, but
that's what I'm saying.
And I got a great TV. I got a great setup, but it's like it's not gonna be the theater.
And I was like, I watched 1917 in the AMC theater with the Dolby Digital, all that shit, and I was like, first time I ever watched a movie, and I was like, fuck, man, why did I never come here?
No, you're right.
I never watched a movie here. Why? It was here the whole time.
You mean you don't want to stay at home? and watch on your couch in front of a 40-inch. No, but I
That's
get
what
it.
I'm
Like,
saying.
yeah,
I would rather go to the movies
these studios
to
now are
watch a movie that I've never seen before for the first time, dude. Like, we went and seen The Irishman.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, that was a fantastic
Like,
experience.
yeah, it's it's about the experience too.
That's the thing. Like, as much as people want to like stay home and do that whole thing, and those movies have their place, like the Extractions of the world. And,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
but these big blockbusters, over
No,
the top,
I'm not gonna.
crazy.
I don't want to watch the Tenet.
Oh no, yeah,
at
like,
my house.
No,
I
you
wanna
can't.
go to the
No,
movies.
no, you can't. No, yeah, exactly. Perfect.
I would
example.
love to go to that AMC theater and watch that
I'm
movie.
gonna have to check that out for sure.
I would love to go there.
Yeah. All right. Any more questions or comments, Danny? All right. So I think,
All right.
think we're
All
gonna
right,
wrap this up, man.
Maybe next time I'll have a few less hairs on my face and LBs
Yeah, right.
when this quarantine's over.
All right. Shameless plug before we wrap up. If you want to check us out here on YouTube,
Instagram,
go on YouTube, type
all
in
that social media shit.
Movies That Don't Suck, all one word, onto YouTube. Subscribe, comment, follow us.
Yeah, please comment, ask questions.
Yeah, we're always checking it. We're on Anchor, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple. Anywhere you get your
all that
podcast,
shit.
links are below.
Yep.
On Instagram, Movies That Don't Suck with 2 Ks, and we'll reach out to us and we'll check you out. Mike, we call it Frank. Did shout out your Instagram?
Frank beats you if you want to follow me.
Yeah, so let us know. We'll talk about movies anytime.
All right, guys.
So we're gonna wrap it up. Stay safe out there. All right.
Stay safe.
All right. We'll see you next time.
All right. That was for the first time in a while, man. That was good.